Hi, I'm Debbie with Create Pretty Things. Welcome to my live tonight. Tonight we're going to be using this cute farm fresh milk transfer and our retired diagonal palette board. This is a beautiful board, but unfortunately it's no longer available, but I did put a 9x12, one of our newer frames in the cart link. So the word of the night, the keyword to type in to get the shopping list is fresh, F-R-E-S-H. So type that into the comments, heart the video, invite your friends to watch, and let's get going. First thing we're going to do is apply surface wax to our palette board. Now this palette board, since it's wood, we want to go ahead and apply this wax so that we don't pick up any splinters. It also fills in some of these uneven edges in the wood. And it also protects your transfer because it lets it peel up a little bit easier and it won't stretch out on you. Have you guys used these transfers before? Have you heard of Decor transfers? They're amazing. They're reusable up to between 8 and 12 times. They're sticky on the back so they stay in place. They are just beautifully detailed and they have great designs. So if you've never checked into any of our stencils, please go to my website, which is chalkcouture.com/chalkprettythings, and take a look at what we have to offer. As you jump on, please say hello and let me know where you're watching from. And if you see that red live button up in the corner, it means you're here with me and you're watching me live. If you don't see it, you're watching the replay. Type in #replay for me so that it keeps my feed bumping, my post bumping up in the feed. Also, feel free to invite anybody and share this video out, okay? If you want to get notified when I go live, type in !notify in the comments, all one word, !NOTIFY, and that will give you a notice every time I go live so you don't have to miss out on anything. Okay, this is my fuzzing towel. I use this to apply a little bit of lint on the back of my transfer. This is my transfer. Any place that you see is white is silk screen. That's where my paste is going to go through to my surface. I'm going to peel it off the backer and hold on to this backer. You do want to store it on here when you're done. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn this sideways, so I'm going to do this in sections. I'm just going to apply this and rub it onto, let's see if you guys can see this, onto, I think this will be a little better for you guys. I'm going to press it onto the fabric just to temper that stickiness so that it doesn't stretch out when I pull it up. I'm going to do this a couple times, whoa, on all the sticky areas. And as you can see, this is pretty sticky. I haven't used this one yet, brand new. So if it's a brand new transfer, you may want to fuzz a little more than if it's a used transfer. I'm just going to lay it on the towel and lift it up a few times. If it were a smaller transfer, you could put it on your shirt or your jeans. You can also just use any towel that you have around, any piece of fabric, just to apply a little bit of fuzz. Okay, I'm going to lift it off, and it's still very sticky. I am going to center it on my board. And if I need to pick it up and move it, I can. That's the beauty of the sticky transfers. They're great. They let you have precise positioning. Precise positioning. Okay. Now I'm going to smooth this out. I don't want any air bubbles. And since this is a palette board, it does have several pieces of wood welded together. And so I may have a little bit of bleeding or interruption of lines on that, the part where the board is. But we're going to go with it. This one has a bigger divot than some of the other ones. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. See how it fits perfectly on the 9x12. What I put in the shopping list is a 9x12 out of the frame box, which has inserts that you can lift in and out. So if you chalk on one and you want to change it out, you can keep the same frame and buy a refill and just go ahead and use it like that. Now you want to make sure you don't have any air bubbles, and I do feel a couple lumps right in here. I can't seem to fill them when I lift up the transfer, and they're not where I'm going to be chalking. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to use 2 colors tonight, so this is going to be quick. The outside border is going to be Storm. Now I also thought about doing Camel. Can you guys see the difference? Camel is more of a brown, kind of a coffee color, and Storm is more of a gray. So I'm going to go with the Storm. The rest is going to be black. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my outside edges with Storm. And I'm just using my squeegee to move that paste along that line. Now I'm not going to do the words down here, just the lines, just the outside border. I'm going to do the words in black. So this border is going to go pretty quick. You want to make sure you get anything that's white covered with the paste. Pay attention to the tops and bottoms, lefts and rights. Make sure they're all covered. And this chalk does dry pretty quickly, and you do want to lift the transfer off when the paste is still wet. So what I'm going to do is called a paste and peel. I'm just going to go ahead and release that paste. Oh, you know what? This is so dark. The frame is kind of a grayish color. So this Storm, well, it's going to be pretty light, but I think it'll work. I'm just going to lift up this transfer to release the paste out of what I just chalked. Okay, and I'm going to let it flop back down. And you know what, guys? It is so faint. I didn't think about this board being so dark. I think I'm going to go back over it in the black. But I think what I'm going to do is let this dry. We'll clean the transfer, and then we'll go back over it in the black. Okay, let me see if I have my big squeegee. I don't have my big squeegee. I have like a 2-inch squeegee, and I don't see it right now. So we're just going to go ahead and use our small squeegee, which is our largest. Well, not our largest, but of what we usually use. This is bigger. So I'm going to get my black velvet and just paste everything else. So anything else that's left, we're going to paste in the black. And I would go ahead and do the outside edges right now too, except that I think that this paste, the first Storm paste, has already dried in the silk screen, and it probably won't allow the paste to go through. So I'm going to take that off and clean it, and then we'll go over it in the black. Okay, we'll reapply it. This paste is so easy to move. It just glides right over the surface. Do you guys like farm decor? I think it's fun. I'm not really big into farm decor, but when I do it or I see it, I really do enjoy it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go over the entire thing and kind of even out my paste lines and take off any excess paste that I may have. And I will tell you that the black is harder to clean off your transfer than any other color. So just be prepared for that. If I have any extra paste, I'm going to put it back in my, my container. Let's peel this off and see what it looks like. So this is my favorite part. It's called the reveal. So I'm going to peel it, but I'm going to also work to the center because I don't want to stretch this transfer out. And as I go, I'm looking to see if I missed any place. if I didn't get the paste in an area where I needed to. If I did miss anything, before I take the whole transfer off, I can go back over it and fix it. And actually, guys, this looks awesome. Look at this. Let me put this down so you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt some water on this right away, just because it'll make cleaning easier for me. And like I said, the black is hard to clean, but as long as you get it out of the silk screen, you'll be okay. You can reuse it. So look at this. It's amazing, except you can't see that detail on the side, can you? The lines. So I'm gonna set this aside for just a second, and it'll be drying while I do this. Wonder if there's another color I could add on there. Well, I do have a little bit of bleeding at the bottom of that. I'll have to look at that. Okay, so we're gonna get a paper towel. I've wet down my transfer, and I'm just gonna take up as much of that paste as I can with the paper towel. I think I'm gonna repeat this process again. I'm gonna cap up my storm. Okay, let's just get this dirty water off. As much as that black as we can. Okay, now I have a board eraser. I put this in the shopping cart also. It's like a magic eraser sponge, except no chemicals. It's wet. I just squeezed all the water out. This is your friend. This is what gets all this paste out of the transfer. See how much you got out just now? Now I do like to go over it a couple different directions. So circles maybe some left to right, some right to lefts, top to bottoms, just kind of keep on scrubbing it. Now this is the top side, and it's fine to work at it pretty good because there's no sticky adhesive on it. Now when we run this over, turn it over and clean the back side, you want to be a little more careful because that's where the adhesive is, and you want to protect that adhesive. But also remember that this front side is the side that we applied the paste to, not the back side. So the back side shouldn't be that dirty. Now, you do need to clean the back side. I'm also going to clean my work surface that I just pushed all that paste through, because when I lay it down, I don't want it to pick up any more of that black paste. So some things to know about this paste. It is water soluble and non-toxic. It's pretty easy to clean up. It should be smooth like frosting in a jar. Should be the texture. So if you have anything that's drier than that, you might want to add some distilled water. Just spray it into your jar, a squirt at a time, and stir it up really well. Okay. Now remember I said this is the sticky side, and we want to be gentle. Still want to clean it out of that silk screen. Still want to get all that black off, but not scrape all the adhesive off. Okay. So I just kind of go over it a couple times. And it looks pretty good. While we're doing this side also, we are picking up some of that lint that we put on so that it's sticky again. So I'm drying it with a paper towel. Which picks up some of that dirty water. And then I'm going to turn it over. And if it needs to be cleaned again, I can. But actually, it looks pretty good. But let me just go ahead and spray it. And I'm going to wipe and dry at the same time on this one. It's not very dirty, but it's a little dirty. So I'm going to dry it up pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead. Oh, we wanted to do the frame again. I was going to put it away, but let's go ahead and dry this just a little bit because we're going to reapply this transfer. And it's going to go over the top of everything. So we want to make sure this is really, really dry. And you can see that it's drying because the paste turns a little less shiny and lightens up. So it's going to take just a few minutes. Like I said, it dries pretty quickly. But just go ahead and make sure it's completely dry before you put this back on. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Winky. How are you guys doing? Are you guys having a good night? Did you have a good weekend? So glad to see you watching. So I'm just going to dry this up so that when I put this transfer back on, it doesn't disturb what I have down. Okay. And I'm debating whether I should. Yeah, I probably should. Let me go ahead and put surface wax on it again. And I just want to make sure it's really dry before I do any of this surface wax. Oh, and it's not quite dry right there. So back to the drawing board as far as drawing. The grooves where the boards meet are where the paste is still wet. Okay, let's go ahead and apply some surface wax. And I'm just going to do it really lightly because if this paste is still wet, I don't want it to smudge. It looks so pretty right now. So I don't want to smudge it if it is wet. But I don't want the transfer to take up any of the paste that we just put down. So I'm just going pretty light. Okay, let's go ahead and reapply this transfer. And since these are transparent, you can see right through these. So it's really easy to line them back up. And since I did start at the top and lined it up on the edges, it should also be pretty easy. Okay, got the farm on there good. Okay, so I'm just going to press around the edge where I want to re-chalk. I'm going to press and make sure that's down without any air bubbles so it doesn't skip or run. There's one there and one right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my squeegee and my black paste again. I'm just going to dip it in. And this line isn't very thick on the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of paste all the way down and around the frame, the border, to get this on there. And we'll see how that works. I think it'll work a lot better than the storm because the frame was so light. It's like, it was not showing up at all. It wasn't accentuating the frame. So let's just do this lightly. And we're almost done. If you guys want the links to the materials that I'm using on this, go ahead and type in the comments the word fresh, F-R-E-S-H. And if you'd like to be alerted to when I go live, type in !notify in the comments, and then you'll receive a notification when I'm live and you won't have to miss out. Okay, so I've got that done. I'm going to cap up my paste. Put away my surface wax, and let's peel it off. Let's see. And remember, I didn't push down on the center of this, so it's just the outside edges that are pushed down right now. That looks awesome, guys. What do you guys think? Give it a heart if you love it. Look how beautiful that is. Do you guys love it? There, it's straight now. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside for just 1 second, and I am going to finish cleaning this. Remember that we just went through the whole process of cleaning it, and we're just gonna do the same thing again. And if this ever happens to your transfers, if it sticks to itself, pull it apart gently. If you have any trouble, you may wanna take it back to your sink and run it under water, and it'll help it release. Boy, this really stuck together. So this is one of the tips of the trade. First of all, don't let it get stuck like this. But if you do, work gently to pull it apart. And if all else fails, take it back to your sink and use running water to help it separate. Okay, we got it. And the black is the bestiest color, as you can see by my hands, to clean. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? Do you think it's gonna go good? I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a barn back here. I also have a little cow milk bucket there. So I think I can start making a little display of farmhouse decor. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that they do make a cow cutout. I don't know if you guys can see it. A cow cutout that goes right here. So if I wanted to make this sign three-dimensional, I could have chalked that and then glued it onto that frame. Now, the only reason why I didn't is because the gluing, I didn't really want to glue it. I can use it for another project. And if I were to do this same picture or something else that needs a cow, I could simply attach a magnet to the back and use a magnetic frame, which will allow you to remove it when you need to, and it's really fun. I did one sign this week with the magnetic pieces, and I really, really loved how it turned out. It looks good without the magnetic pieces, but then I did different colors on the magnetic pieces, which gives it a totally different look. So that's another option for you. And there are some other farmhouse stencils that I am going to be trying this week. There's some chickens, and I think they'll be really cute. I just want to see how I want to incorporate them into a design and what kind of surface I want to use on those. But look forward to that this week. We'll do the chickens one day. Okay. Lift this up, clean underneath. And my water is also turning black because of this transfer, the black ink. Whoops, let me flip it over. That's the side I wanted to clean. I'm just kind of cleaning around the edges because that's all we use this time is the edges. We didn't do much more of the transfer. Okay, let me go ahead and dry it up. Dry the top side. And I'll show you that it's clean so you can see through it again. So if your teal part of your transfer gets dark and stained, that's okay as long as your silk screen is clean. Okay, so I'll put that on the backer on the transfer paper again, and it'll be good for another 8 to 12 uses. But here's the finished project. Do you guys love it? Give it a heart when you love it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back on tomorrow. I appreciate you. Bye.